G'day guys, and welcome to another Blender Buzz tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how we can use a multi-file output node, a file output node, to do multiple sequences. So for example, if you can see my little output folder here, instead of just getting my default image pass, just your default render, you also get your ambient occlusion and your shadow passes, or whatever passes you select, also exported as sequences. So later on you can open up something like After Effects or whatever software you want to use, and you can composite these things in layers to make your animation look nice. So without wasting any more time, let's get into this quick tutorial and I'll show you exactly how we do this. Okay, so to demonstrate this today, I've just got this simple little scene I made. It's just a Suzanne head with a basic material and just a backdrop and a camera and a light. And I'm just going to use this to demonstrate. So like I said, usually we when we do animations, we'll export, we'll come down here to our output, we'll choose a location on our computer, and then we'll export image sequences, usually PNGs, and then we'll composite them together later on. Now, what if you did multiple passes? So you didn't just do a final beauty render, you also enabled things like shadow and ambient occlusion, or even your environment, whatever you've enabled to render as well as an extra pass. How do you let those things also get exported out to a folder so you can use them in something like After Effects, for example? So today I'm going to show you how we can very easily set that up in our node system. So what we're going to do is, over here in our output, we're just going to not touch this. In fact, I'm just going to select this here and go delete. Make sure that's empty and just close this, because we're not going to be working through the output there. What we're actually going to do is go to our compositing, go to our layers, use nodes, backdrop, and what we're actually going to be using here is just one simple thing. We're going to go Shift A and get a file output. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our image, plug it into the image here, and whatever path we choose here is where the image sequences, when we press animate, that is where they're going to be sent to. So if I go here and I've already prepared a folder on my desktop, I'm just going to go to my desktop and I've prepared a folder called output. So I'm just going to go accept, and you can choose whatever folder you want on your computer. That's just the one I'm going to use for an example. And you can see here right now, the only thing it'll be exporting are my image sequences, like my final beauty renders here. But I also want my shadow and ambient occlusion to be exported as well as image sequences. So what I'm going to do is select my file output. And in my properties panel here, I can see under properties, I can see image here. So I'm just going to add another input. I'm going to name this one shadow. Okay, and I can see I have an ambient occlusion here, so I'm just going to go add input. And I'm going to name this one ambient occlusion, or just AO as it's more commonly known. And then what I can do is I can take the shadow, plug it into the shadow, the ambient occlusion, and plug it into the ambient occlusion. And now all of those outputs are going to be sent to this output folder that I have selected on my desktop. And later on I can open up After Effects or whatever software I want, and I can use screens and masks and multiplies and layer these things up and add effects to my final animation. So to quickly show you just an example, I'm just going to go back to my my default here. I'm just going to make my animation 5 frames long, just to give you an example. And I'm just going to make sure my sampling is set really low, like 12, just for a demonstration. And I'm just going to press animation. And you're going to see here it's animating, and in the background it's doing my ambient occlusion pass and my shadow pass. And if I go into this output folder here, instead of just seeing that one sequence we'd usually see, we're going to see multiple sequences. So for example, here you can see we have our image, the one we usually get, but now we also have our ambient occlusion and our shadow pass, and they're named respectively. So you can see here ambient occlusion 001, image 001, and shadow 001. And you can see here, here's the next pass, ambient occlusion 001, image ambient occlusion 002, image 002, and shadow 002. And it'll keep rendering out these sequences. We can see it as ambient occlusion free, image free, and shadow free. And you can do the same with your environment passes or any other passes you're doing, UV passes or whatever. So I hope you guys have found this useful. Share this video. There's not a lot of videos on this topic on YouTube, so I really think this would help a lot of people. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like below, check out some of my other content, and subscribe if you want to as well.